So Donald Trump sides with Pakistan again. India is very furious about this issue. Hi friends, you might already know that US President Donald Trump has hosted Pakistan's military chief or DGMO Asim Munir in the White House last month. And since then, India hasn't been just watching quietly. It's reacting to the entire situation very strategically. Even though we are upset or rather very angry about this particular event. So today we'll see how we have reacted so far, from diplomatic protests to becoming friendlier with China and connecting with other world leaders as well, as if India is moving pieces on the chessboard in ways we haven't seen in years. So, if you're keen on important global events, India's foreign policy, global power shifts, and what this means for the US India relationship, then please consider subscribing to the channel. I try to explain the most complex concepts with a lot of my insights in a very simple language for you to understand. Also, watch this video till the end because this is going to be a very interesting and a very insightful video. And you will learn how politics is actually played out on the international stage. So, let's dive right in. So, let me first talk on White House meeting with Pakistan's military chief. So, US President Trump hosted Pakistan DGMO Asim Munir for a high profile lunch at the White House in June 2025. Now, this wasn't any routine state visit or ambassador handshake. It was a very specific, high level military to leader interaction. US President Donald Trump meeting Pakistan's most powerful military person, that too in the White House, signals not just diplomatic closeness but a potential restart in the US Pakistan relations. Now, why does this matter to India? Well, that's because Asim Munir isn't just a symbolic figure. He is the power center of Pakistan. Historically, also, we have seen the Pakistan army has driven the entire country of Pakistan, its policies, its politics, its relations, everything. So, Trump giving this meeting so much visibility with international media attention, red carpet, and also praise for Pakistan, all this was a red flag for India. It's a clear departure from US's earlier concerns over Pakistan-based terror groups like the Jaish-e-Mohammed and Lashkar-e-Taiba. So yes, that's the main reason why India is not happy with this invite being sent out by the US and meeting with Asim Munir. So this meeting contrasts sharply with the US's prior stance on cross-border terrorism in Kashmir. So India has always banged on and relied on US support against cross-border terrorism. So when US starts softening on Pakistan, especially its military, it sends a very conflicting message. Wasn't Pakistan on the FATF grey list till recently? So just a couple of years ago, US officials were calling out Pakistan's terror infrastructure. Now suddenly it's constructive engagement. To India, this feels like deja vu from the Cold War era, when US backed Pakistan for its own interest in Afghanistan and also in the Middle East. So there have been multiple occasions where US has actually backed Pakistan, essentially to fulfill its own selfish interests. So India has lodged a diplomatic protest in response. Now India didn't stay silent. It lodged diplomatic protests, highlighting its concerns over terrorism and Pakistan's role in regional destabilization. These protests were registered privately, through direct diplomatic and bureaucratic channels over phone calls, not via public statement or press conference. That's why you don't see politicians openly coming out and talk about it in the media. So this protest wasn't just symbolic. It's part of India signaling that its tolerance for mixed messaging from the US is now running out. Now let's focus on India's diplomatic readjustment. So Indian officials expressed deep concerns over US engagement with the leader they view as hostile. Now India sees Asim Munir not just as a military general, but the head of an institution that has repeatedly allowed and also supported cross-border infiltration and insurgency. So Trump's open welcome of Asim Munir raised security and also moral concerns. India doesn't want to appear isolated or betrayed, especially after building such close ties with US over the last decade. So this prompted trade talks delays and losing diplomatic warmth between India and the US. There were signals of these conflicts in recent Indo-US trade meetings as we have seen. So the trade talks were postponed. Talks about military-industrial cooperation also took a backseat. Even high-level visits were quietly shelved off or delayed. But I'd like to point out one important aspect over here, and that's nothing is permanent in politics. This diplomatic frost between US and India is not yet a freeze, but the temperature is clearly lower than what it was 6 months ago. India is likely using this phase to reevaluate the situation, reassess its relations with US, and exploring ways to reposition itself to counter this move. Now let me talk about the emerging India strategic shift towards China. So in light of uncertainty, India is exploring eased investment restrictions with China. Now this is big. Since the 2020 Galwan clash, India had taken strict action on Chinese imports, their apps, FDI, and Chinese projects. But now, according to reports, there are early talks to ease some of these restrictions, especially in manufacturing and pharma sectors. India knows that counterbalancing US unpredictability requires economic and diplomatic shift towards China because there's a phase that your enemy's enemy automatically becomes your friends. So same holds true in this case. So US's enemy China now becomes our friend. But here's the catch. China is also our rival and it also supports Pakistan. So that's the irony over here. And we must move strategically and not become too close to China to avoid being backbitten. Foreign Minister S. Jaishankar is set to travel to Beijing, his first visit since the 2020 border clash. So this visit will be historic, not because India is suddenly aligning with China, but because it shows to the world how dynamic India's foreign policy actually is. So Jaishankar's trip could include talks on restoring trade talks, border de-escalation, and even tech partnerships in non-sensitive areas or sectors. Now let's talk about threat perceptions and the arms cooperation. So India fears that potential US-Pakistan arms cooperation could strengthen Pakistani military position. So what if US military aid to Pakistan returns? Pakistan could get access to drones, radar systems, surveillance technology, etc. All of that could shift the balance in South Asia dangerously towards Pakistan. Now India's concern is not just that Pakistan gets these weapons, but that it uses them for offensive attacks in Kashmir and along the LOC, as it has done in the past. We have seen this move before. In the 80s and early 2000s, US arms ended up being used by Pakistan in clashes with India. Also, Pakistan uses F 16 fighter jets provided to it by the US against India during any conflicts. So, there are growing concerns over US disregard for India's security and terrorism sensitivities. So, like I said, India is not just worried about weapons, it's worried about the attitude or the US attitude. If the US downplays terrorism issues or makes deals ignoring India's sensitivities, it sends the wrong message to both Pakistan and China. It also tells India that your pain is secondary to our priorities. That perception, once it grows, is very hard to reverse. Now let's talk about India's hedging strategy. So analysts say that India is hedging its bets in response to Trump's unpredictability. We all know that Trump is famous or infamous for his abrupt foreign policy shifts. From North Korea to NATO, Trump wants a say in everything. Trump be like, I might talk to North Korea's dictator, I might also challenge NATO allies. I might support Pakistan if it serves America's interests. Now, India knows this, so rather than complaining or crying about this, India is taking strategic steps to keep up to its position. The hedging here means that India is talking to multiple power centers like the Europe, Asian or the Association of Southeast Nations, the Middle East, and even Latin America. This is a signal to US that we are not dependent on you and India will also do what's in its best interest. So India is diversifying strategic relationships and monitoring US-China relationships closely. So India is watching the US-China equation very closely. If US and China improve their ties, India could find itself stuck between two friendly rivals. Now that's not a good situation for India to be in. So India is improving its partnerships with Japan, France, UAE, Australia, countries that share its concerns about terrorism and also Chinese expansionism, but without the drama of American politics. Now let's talk about international trade and tensions. So this incident has resulted in diplomatic friction and slowed down trade negotiations. So the Trump-Munir meet wasn't just a regular meet, it has consequences. And as we have seen, multiple trade dialogues between India and the US have slowed down. Some tariff talks have also been put on hold. There are also reports saying India may even delay US investment approvals in sensitive sectors like defense manufacturing and AI technology, etc. It signals a potential readjustment or recalibration of India's foreign policy approach during the shifting global relationships. So this could be the beginning of a new era, one where India is more assertive in protecting its own interests, even if it means stepping away from our traditional allies. Think of it this way. India is no longer the junior partner in global relationships. It's becoming an independent power in its own right, willing to push back, walk away, or negotiate strongly and on its own terms. Now here's a question for you and let's see if you can get this right. So the question is, what do you think was the main reason behind Trump meeting Pakistan's army chief Asim Munir? Was it A, to contain China via Pakistan? Option B, to reopen US routes into Afghanistan? Option C, to balance India's rising power? Or was it option D, to revive arms sales with Pakistan? So you can write down your answer in the comment section below. I'll wait for 5 seconds or you can even pause this video and enter your answer down below. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So according to me, the correct answer is option C, that is to balance India's rising power. Yes, while all the options have some merit, most analysts believe this was primarily a geopolitical signal to counterbalance India's growing closeness with Russia and also other major players. So, friends, as India readjusts its foreign policy and keeps all its options open, one thing is very clear that we are entering a new world order. One where every handshake, every lunch meeting, and every trade talk has its implications, and why it's important to monitor these events and take clues to build your foreign policy and strategy. So, what do you think India's next move should be? Let me know in the comment section. Also, if you found this video useful, please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. It will help this channel to grow and bring you more such deep dive explainer type videos on important world affairs. Until next time, stay curious and stay informed. Jai Hind.